So you know how I said I liked paneling? Here's another subject I super like to talk about, and a lot of you kids who have been with me before have heard me talk about this probably relentlessly. Type, or typography, which the definition of typography is art and technique of arranging type to make the written language legible, readable, and appealing when displayed. It can evoke feelings, emotions, or create an atmosphere. And when it's bad, it can be jarring and distracting. So try to avoid that if you can. A brief history of type is it started with typesetters at the printmaking shops. They would set the fonts with space to let the type breathe, so to speak, breathe. The right font choice can communicate your message instantly. Think about your title and its meaning. How can you reflect that? Typeface versus font. So I'm sure you guys have heard typeface as well as you've heard the word font. So here is kind of the differences in that and how that's going to apply to you as the comic creator. Typeface is designed set of characters that make up a complete set of type. So think your title. That would be a typeface. You create this consistent typeface to convey the cover, which invokes the feeling or whatever you need it to kind of express your story. Font. It's the digital file that allows users to type out design with their computer. I'll be the one typing out your speech bubbles for better readability, but think the speech bubbles. Here are some rules to follow. And follow these rules, especially for your cover. You need this. I need you to need this. Balance that conveys consistent structure. Have the typeface look consistent. If you have multiple E's, for instance, in your title, you want them to look the same. If they look different, it just kind of takes away back into the bad typography of jarring. The hierarchy that defines the organization and direction. What is most important for your cover? Is it the title itself or the image produced underneath the title or above the title? You need to put those into consideration when making your cover. Contrast to emphasize highlights. If you're going to have more earthy tones and things like that, you want your cover that can also reflect earthy tones, but you want it to be different so it can stand out. Because again, you need to display that form of hierarchy of importance from your title to the picture itself on your cover. Maybe look into some color psychology. What do you want the reader to feel? If you're unsure, I can help do some research with you. But really consider in that color schematics because it's going to affiliate the reader with how the rest of the pages are going to look. Repetition to create consistency and familiarity. Alignment to present a sharp and structured image. If you're gonna have it straight, have it straight. Use your ruler, that's why you have it. If you're going to have it curved, have it consistently curved. You can't just, if you do things willy-nilly or super zigzaggedy or things like that, unless it reflects what your story is about, I highly suggest not doing that. And if you're worried if it does reflect or not, I would stick with straight just because of the how much to unpack with typography itself. This is really important for you guys when you are making your panels. I want you to consider the bubble size. So as you've made your script, you kind of understand how many words you're going to have to fit in how many bubbles. Can the viewer read your dialogue? You can't have a huge paragraph and an itty-bitty bubble. You need to consider how big that bubble is going to be to reflect the amount of type that's going to be put into it. Bubbles also convey emotions and volume. Here's some examples of this. If you're doing shy, the bubble might be really big as the words are really small. For normal, they mostly fit in a centralized form with the bubble. And if you're loud, I suggest not even just doing a circle. Try some jagged lines and big type. Consider readability and spacing. Is the type readable? Is it eye-catching? Properly spaced? Does it reflect the story? Do not be lazy and just do bubble letters. I know you want to, because that is easy. No, that is a no-no. Unless your story reflects a very happy, whimsical, bubbly feel, do not do bubble letters. And if you do bubble letters, they better be accurately spaced within themselves. Or if they are conjoined together, I better be able to read it. Because if I can't, you're redoing it. Design your title like you designed your characters. The characters are designed and reflected into your world. I want the cover title to do the same. I think I've covered at least like the bare minimum as far as typography is concerned. So I will leave you to it. I at least gave you the most important aspects of type for you to step forward with this process. So, doodles.